Hey guys, Steve here with Go-Fly-A-Kite. I've been watching a lot of Sanz content, S-A-N-Z. He's an older dude, probably in his mid-70s, but he's clearly forgotten more about kite surfing than most people will ever know. He keeps it ridiculously simple and safe, practical, logical, which equates to safety. You know, the simpler you can keep something, the safer it's going to be. There's less things to go wrong, mentally, mechanically, etc. So he uses small power kites, trainer kites, like 2-3 meter kites, to learn to pull oneself on a board. So here I have an inexpensive mountain board that's got 8-inch rubber tires and 50 psi in the tires. I took the straps off, so if I get pulled off the board, I'm not actually being tripped by the board. I can just run off the board if I'm being pulled off the board. So to learn to ride a board with a kite, being pulled by a kite, you're better off not to have the straps. So I want to make that exceptionally clear. And then when you can pull yourself on the board with the kite, then it's a very simple progression to move over to like a beach, a shore launch on a, like say a twin tip surfboard or kite surfing board. So yeah, mastering the land and mastering flying a kite on the land and mastering a board on the land, being pulled by the kite, it just makes a lot of sense. This kite is ridiculously easy to control. I have it set up as a 2-line kite. So basically you pull right to go right, you pull left to go left. If you want to land it, you fly it to the edge of the wind window. If you don't know what the wind window is, you can watch the How to Fly video that's on page 2 of our website at albatrosskites.com. We do have some turbulence out here because the wind is basically going straight from the east, you know, that way to the west. But I notice my kite is being blown around from the backside. So we have turbulence on the edge. I have the kite lined up to launch on the edge, and I want to fly the kite toward the wind, leading edge toward the wind immediately. That way I have the least amount of pull on the kite immediately after launch. So if you don't know how to fly a kite, go back to the How to Fly video and start with small kites, like really small kites, like say a Prism Nexus. It's about 75 bucks. You can find them used on like say Facebook Marketplace or eBay, but just get a simple 2-line kite. I mean, you could even get a small Synapse, which is very inexpensive, either the 140 or the 170. And that's like flying a pillow. There's no frame to break or anything. It's very similar to flying this traction kite, but just a ridiculously small scale with, you know, a pull that a 5-year-old could handle. Okay, so I got some good music. I did want to walk over here and talk to you a little bit about getting hurt. That's my ultimate goal as a kite instructor, is to prevent injury. Like, I don't want to see your hands being cut up by seashells because you were being body dragged by a pro service that charged you $300 for a couple of hours or $250 for a couple of hours and got you hurt, you know, pretty bad to where you got to take a couple of weeks off from kiting. I want to prevent those kind of injuries. It's absolutely not necessary. If you learn to fly a kite really good, you should basically never be in the water. And you don't need a water kite. And if you want the luxuries of a water kite, go for it, but you don't need that. This happens to be a small water kite for like 300 bucks. So I've seen people, Sanz, you can watch his video. He's actually flying in 20 knots of wind with a Peterlin 2.8 skim. It's very similar to this kite, and he's actually kite surfing with a 2.8. So this is a foil kite, which is actually very, very close to a real wing in wing shape. So it has a lot more lift than a sail because of the aerodynamic design of this wing. This is the turbulence is blowing it back toward me, which is ridiculous, but We'll try to get some more sand here on it, see if that'll remedy it. Might not even help, I don't know, but yeah, look at that. We'll step on it. There we go. See if that'll help. I just don't want it to completely flip over. Flip over toward me. That sucks. So we have turbulence. And if you don't know what turbulence does to a kite when you're flying it, that's the reason you need to fly a kite. So you don't, you'll know how to handle turbulence if you're out there on the water kite surfing. Turbulence will knock your kite out of the sky. So learning to fly in turbulence on the land a lot just makes sense. That way when you get out there on the water in turbulent wind, it's not like a surprise, like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. Well, you can learn all that. Fly here on the beach where you got plenty of room, flying all kinds of turbulence. Turbulence happens when the wind goes around objects. So we have trees, we have buildings, and the wind that's coming around those buildings is being caused to swirl and create an eddy. And the eddy is spinning all the way over here, and it's causing this kite to blow toward the handles or toward the flyer, toward me, the operator. It's very annoying. It can knock your kite out of the sky. Some kites handle turbulence better than others, but pretty much all kites are affected by turbulence. This kite here, even though it's a foil, because it's a closed cell foil, it's affected a lot less by turbulence than, say, an open cell foil. But even this one, the closed cell foil can be turned around backwards due to swirling wind. It'll basically blow the nose of the kite, the leading edge of the kite, towards you while you're flying on the edge, and your kite will fall out of the sky. Hopefully I made that clear. If I did not make that clear, go fly a kite. That'll make it clear to you. All right, so I got some good music. I'm trying not to hurt my hand. It really sucks. I've been putting Paint-A-Trate on it a couple times a day, 2 or 3 times a day, which helps, but it's just in a really bad spot. I put my hand down in shallow water when I was being body drugged by a big ass kite that I wasn't familiar with, in a water that I wasn't familiar with, equipment I wasn't familiar with, because I got the quote unquote pro training thinking that pro was going to make it, efficient and easy for me. I don't feel like I got that. I'm going to go ahead and pay them their money because I feel like I got a priceless education. I'm going to pass that priceless education on to you if you'd like to get into safe and enjoyable, simple, inexpensive, relatively inexpensive compared to what some people pay to do this. The equipment that I'm going to encourage you to use is probably a fraction of the price of what most people get all involved with, and then they don't even have like enjoyable equipment to use. They got stuff that doesn't even make sense. So if you just want to kite surf and you want to have an enjoyable, simple experience that even an older person could learn to do, that's what I'm teaching you. That's what Alex Sanz is teaching people, and he's, like I said, he's forgotten more about kite surfing than the vast majority of anybody that gets into kite surfing will ever know. too windy. I thought I was gonna have enough control on the kite in this wind, but we're at about 18 to 20, and the max on this kite is like 25. So I'm just gonna say I'll do it again another time. It's a little too crazy, but you get the idea. You basically fly the kite over there on the edge, just enough into the power zone to where you can pull yourself on the board. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.